So if you want my quick and dirty review, even with awful items, like I literally equipped him with awful items just to see, what's the average person going to get? He was very strong. And I'm talking like a level 60 weapon, unupgraded talents. You can start hitting for thousands of damage very, very quickly with Xiao. He is an absolute hyper carry. He does very good area of effect because of his plunging. And if you're just jumping on this video to say, hey, should I wish for him or not? If you want Xiao, I would say absolutely go for it. It's not like Zhongli where people are debating, oh, is he good? He's absolutely good. These numbers are low, okay? Don't get me wrong. If you do the test run, you're going to see that he's doing like 20,000 damage per jumping, plunging attack. Yeah, that's normal. The stats and the artifacts that he has in that test run, they're not out to lunch from what the average player at level 80 and 90 could get. So I think Xiao is a win. All right, guys, Xiao is in the game, and I did something a little bit different before I made this review. I used some really average weapons and artifacts just to get an idea of what the average person is going to feel like when they first get him. And I have to say he has some major potential. Now, some people have already seen his talents and constellations, but I do want to go over those because I think that it's important now that they're official to chat about them and talk about the pros, talk about some of the cons. He's an interesting one because I think as a 5-star character, I would never, ever, ever recommend anyone go past C2. Now, you can go past C2. If you are someone who's been saving up all of your Primo Gems for months and you want to go beyond, you can. But I think, especially if you're a free-to-play player who's been saving, if you get C2, you leave it. You run and you leave it. Because C3, all right, fine, you're getting a little bit more damage. C4, one of the worst C4s of any 5-star in the game, in my opinion. This is a non-factor. This is one of the worst C4s I've ever seen. And then obviously, C6, yeah. C6 is going to be an absolute banger, giving you additional charges on your E ability while you're jumping around and plunging. But no one in the game is getting a C6 unless you're spending a ton of money. And I don't know if I would ever recommend anyone do that because I think that the rates in this game are pretty bad. This is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So let's get that out of the way there. But if you've been saving up and you get C1, you're going to be a happy camper because it gives you an extra charge of your dash ability. Now, if you get C2, this is really nice. While in the party but not on the field, Xiao's energy recharge is increased by 25%. That's cool. But honestly, if you have enough energy recharge, if you're spamming your abilities, I don't know if you would need this either. Depending on the weapon that you're using, if you have enough energy recharge, this is definitely great. It will give you some very good uptime. You can swap characters to heal. You can swap characters to put out some support abilities like a Shang Ling or Official. But honestly, even C2, I don't think it's not going to be a make or break thing. I think C1 Xiao would be pretty much as good as C6. I mean, obviously not as good as C6, but if you get C1, you're going to be a happy camper. But if you have C0, I think Xiao is still really, 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 really good. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so here is why he hits so hard. Number one is when you level up his main attack and you're getting this plunging damage, right? This is going to scale pretty nicely, and you're going to get some pretty big multipliers on there. Now, when you use your ultimate ability, Bane of All Evil, it's going to allow you to repeatedly jump in the air and plunge. So you're going to get these huge plunging multipliers. But on top of that, when you use Bane of All Evil, look at this. You're getting, at level 8, 86% more plunging damage. And this multiplier is on top of everything. Your Animo damage bonus of 44% that you're getting on your Golden Cup, right? If you're using the Veneer set or Viridescent set or whatever, that's another 15% damage. This is going to scale off your attack, your crit damage. Whatever all of that damage is, you're then adding this multiplier on top, and it just leads to crazy numbers. We're talking, you could probably hit 10,000 damage when you're level 70. If you got a good weapon, you've got your talents upgraded, you could probably hit 10,000 damage easy at level 60, 70. Easy. If you're getting to level 80, 20,000 without even flinching. And if you get this bad boy with a level 90 weapon with some good crit damage, like a crit damage helmet, you are absolutely going to crush with plunges. And the beauty of that is it is area of effect. So when there are a bunch of enemies grouped up in something like the Spiral Abyss, you can run in and you can absolutely decimate. If I pop this off, I can do really quick ones, and I can hit those, or I can jump really high in the air, and I can try to time that at the top. If you want to get the highest multiplier, you want to be at the top of your jump. But the test run character, you can see here, is doing like 24,000 damage per hit. 24,000 damage per hit. And I would say that this is an average character. So if you look here, right? We've got level 18 artifacts, so this isn't fully upgraded. If you look at his overall stats, he's got 150% crit damage here, and if you look right here, he has an anemo damage of 57%. So they're essentially saying he's got a golden cup with anemo damage on it, he's got a bunch of crit rate, and he's got some crit damage. But these are very obtainable numbers. He has built-in crit, and 150 crit damage isn't unheard of. So if you get an anemo cup and some crit damage built in, you can easily hit 20,000, no problem. If you look at his weapon here, he has a Primordial Jade. This has crit rate built in. It's got some really good base attack. This is a 5-star weapon. Okay? On hit, it's increasing his attack as well. So if you are getting baited by these numbers, they might be a little bit inflated. But I think that a lot of this stuff is reachable, especially if you're getting into a level 90 weapon. And so if I look at his kit, even without Constellations, he is going to be a absolute hyper carry. The big thing about Ganyu is she's area of effect. And she's very easy to use, because she's area of effect and does a lot of value for your team. He's kind of the same. You get everyone grouped up in the Spiral Abyss, which is going to happen naturally, right? Everyone's going to group up naturally and be chasing you around. You jump in the air, you slam everything down. He's good against every type of enemy in the game. He's good against every element in the game other than like an Anemo guy, right? That's immune, the Anemo Storms, the Eye of the Storm. But he will shine in the Spiral Abyss, I'm telling you right now. If you're doing domains, he's going to be very good as well. And so if I'm looking at this character, if you've been saving up and you're wondering, should I get him? Yep, you should. I think if you have been saving up and you really like this character, I think he is overall going to be absolutely fantastic. There's only one problem, one frustrating thing, and that is farming for him. Now, if you look at Xiao here, he needs the Anemo boss's material, but he also needs the new Juvenile Jade from a different boss. It is so expensive to farm the materials for Xiao compared to every other character in the game. Now, the new boss can drop Anemo crystals, so you can get these. And if you've gotten these over time, that's awesome. But if you look at mathematically, to get from level 1 to level 90, this bad boy right here, Xiao, is gonna cost you resin. And there's nothing you can do about it. And I feel like there's a lot of wasted resources because, you know, there's this talent material, right? You're gonna have a bunch of these if you're farming the Anemo boss, and no real reason to use them. I don't love the feel of it. I don't love the feel of it. I feel like it's very inefficient because you're getting random elements. Every time you fight this boss, you're going to get random elemental crystals, and it feels really inefficient overall. But it's probably worth it. It's probably worth it. He dashes around. He does some awesome damage. If you've got a good spear, if you've got some good artifacts, great. The other beautiful thing, here's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. This is probably the optimal set for him, is 2-piece Gladiator, 2-piece Verdescent. And because of that, you can min-max and you can swap and get the best 2 artifacts from each set. So if you've got a bunch of cracked Gladiator helmets, but your other ones, you know, for the Verdescent set of trash, use them. In the case of me, my Verdescent Feather and my Verdescent Helmet, pretty good. I've got the crit damage built in there, right? Got a nice set of artifacts for him already, right off the hop. And I feel like it's one of the most customizable overall. And then, because of that, you don't need the 4-piece set. It's really easy to find a cup. Hopefully you have a good one. I don't have a good one. But it allows you to use an offset piece really easily here. And maybe you've got a Gladiator one, maybe you've got a Verdescent one. But if you can get that Anemo damage cup in there, that is an absolute must. You gotta get it. But I'm really impressed with Xiao. I think he's going to be one of the best characters in the game if you're looking for like a hyper carry, someone you can leave out on the field doing damage. If you're a free-to-play character, it is frustrating how much resin you need to use to farm him. It is absolutely going to be frustrating. But if you do get him, he's going to be someone you can hyper invest all of your resources into getting artifacts and town books, and he's going to carry you. So that is the bonus. Highly recommend Xiao if you do want to get him. If you want to skip, I think there's going to be other really good characters down the road. If you got Ganyu instead of him, don't worry about it. I think that they both have a very similar value in their area of effect. I don't think Xiao is going to break the game, but I think he is very good. So that's kind of all I wanted to say. Basic attacks are fine. He can knock up targets with his charge. His plunge is really good at disrupting things. It can break shields. I think he is definitely worth. Oh, the other thing too is you can use this material down here. Where are you? Oh, here you go. So Dust of Azoth, you can buy this for Stardust. Now, it is pretty expensive to buy this. But if you have a bunch of materials for like another character, like if you got a bunch of these bad boys, and you don't plan on leveling any water characters, you can use the Dust of Azoth on Xiao and converting. That is definitely a possibility. It does get expensive though, and if you are free to play, I'd be very careful with that. You don't want to run out of that. You want to be able to buy your wishes each month when it resets. It uses that same material, so just be careful, but that is another option for you. That's pretty much all I want to say. I really like him. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.